Lopez here, coming at you from LopezTheSame.com. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 reasons why people don't buy more of what you have to sell. Now, some people will say, well, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. But I'm here to tell you that that's not necessarily true. People will buy from people that they don't necessarily like. You know, if people trust you, that's a plus. But they don't necessarily have to like you. You know, I bought from people that I didn't necessarily like, but I just liked the information that they were providing, and at the time, I was lacking in a certain skill, so I had to do what I had to do in order to attain the skill. So, what makes people buy more than anything? What gives people the urge, the courage to buy more than anything is the pain, is the discomfort. So that's what drives most people to buy more than anything. It's just being uncomfortable. So that's more stronger, probably more stronger than anything. Just being uncomfortable. Just being in a place where you just don't like it. You just don't like how things are going. Some people just don't like the way their life is going. So they're looking for a transformation. They're looking for a change. So, with all that being said, now, one of the reasons why people don't buy is because they just don't want what you have to sell. They just don't want it. They don't need it. I mean, they're just not interested. It's maybe you caught them at a bad time, or whichever the case may be, but they just don't want what you have to sell. And then you got some people, they just can't afford it. Maybe you caught them at a time where it's like they're living from paycheck to paycheck. They don't have enough money left over at the end of the month, or they just can't afford to do it. Now, maybe they can come up with the money, maybe they can put it on a credit card, maybe you can break it up into payments, maybe you can work it out in some way, because some people, if they really want to do something, they will find a way. They'll find a way to come up with the money. Now, you might have to give them a little bit of time, a couple hours, a couple days, but if they really want to do something, they will come up with the money. They'll go borrow it from somebody, friends, family, credit card, whatever the case may be. That's what I know. That's what I've seen. And I've done the same thing. I've made some sacrifices. I've borrowed money from people. I paid them back. And then I've pretty much raised the money. I've, got my little hustle on and had to do what I got to do. So people, if someone said they can't afford it, what that really means is they just don't really have the ambition, the drive, the gumption, the spine to say, hey, I'm gonna go out and do what I gotta do to get this money. So a lot of times that's on you, because if they don't have that drive to do what they got to do to come up with the money, even though they say they can't afford it, there's a disconnect somewhere, somehow. Maybe in your presentation, or maybe they just wasn't really interested in the beginning, from the get-go. So maybe you're targeting or talking to the wrong people. So just keep that in mind. And then you got some people, they just don't think it's going to work. Some people just don't think it's going to work. And you got some people just don't think that they're going to use it. Some people just don't think it's going to work. And then you got some people just don't think they're going to use it. Because, a lot of people will buy stuff and it'll sit on the shelf at their house and collect dust. So some people will pay $100,000, $2,000, $5,000 for programs, books, tapes, CDs, DVDs. They'll might never look at it, might never read it, might never listen to it, might never take any type of action. But they'll buy it. But they'll buy it like, they become like kind of like information junkies. And I've known people that's been doing this for years, 5, 10, 20 years. They haven't really done very much of anything. So some people just don't believe it's going to work for them, and some people just don't believe that they're going to use it. So those are the reasons why people don't buy more from you. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel, share this video, check out my blog, LopezLassane.com. See you in the next video. Peace!